to live in down LA, where everybody try to fatten their pocket. So many hustle for the cash, so it's hard to knock it. Everybody got their own thing.
Hello. God bless you, community family, and welcome to Game Talk with Sister Herron and our guest co-host tonight, Marcus Woods, that we're so happy to have in studio with us. Thank you for coming, Marcus.
Thank you. As always, I'm blessed to be here, and I see all these ladies up here, so I know I'm gonna learn something today.
Yes.
So I'm always blessed to be here and come contribute or learn something new and take it back to somebody who can understand it and be helped.
And we appreciate you taking the time out and share this with us, because it is important, as we were discussing before the show. This is our business. It's a we thing. It's a us thing. It's not me and mine. It's us and ours. And so we're grateful and thankful to God that He brought you back to us, that He's given us time to talk about this, that we're in the studio with extraordinary people that are actually working this every day. It didn't just happen last week. This has been a lifetime of work for those that come to this mic. So we really thank you for becoming a participant.
Thank you.
Yes. And our usual procedure is to thank our guests from last week. And if you were listening, you saw we had 3 exceptional women that came in, and they surprised themselves at how much that we talked about and how much they were able to share with us. And that's the whole point. You never know what you have to say until you get a chance to say it. So God bless you, ladies, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
What our habit is just to start with the introduction. So let's just go around this way. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit, anything you want us to know.
Hi, my name is Anita, and I grew up in Watts, and I'm actually around a lot of gang activity. So, yeah, I see a lot going on around the area.
Place. This is Gang Talk. So
right.
You're in the right place. Kathy.
Hi, my name is Kathy Wooten. Also born and raised in the city of Watts, and it's unfortunate that I'm a part of this because my 2 oldest sons was murdered, and I'm so happy to be here, especially with my dear friends and my niece and my newfound friend, who is now like my sister, who I am sitting next to. Will share with you her experience, but we came together as a result of, tragedy. But I'm still yet grateful that she's a part of my life at this point.
Hi, yes, my name is Barbara Hughes. I'm a mother of 3. I have 2 of my children, like Kathy said, that was murdered. One was murdered 10 months ago, and the other one was murdered this month to make 10 years ago.
Yes.
I'm a CEO and founder of a foundation that I established in honor of both of them, which is called Gentle Giants Foundation. And I'm just here trying to do the work in the community to be able to reach back and help somebody.
Yes.
My name is Deondra, and I grew up in Watts also, and I'm basically just a supporter. I'm just a shoulder to lean on and an ear to listen.
I always need those people.
That's all right. And you look young.
Yes, thank you. I am.
Do you mind telling us your age?
37.
37, all right.
Amen.
All right. Well, God bless you, ladies, and thank you so much for coming. And Barbara, I owe you an apology because I knew about your second son, and that was just a short while ago.
Yes.
And I'm so disappointed in myself that I had forgotten that. We try to remember our mothers that have been through crisis and never, ever want to forget that.
Yes, thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
Yes. And you know what? Our community owes all of us. We owe ourselves an apology for the nightmare that we have engaged in that's been so costly. So I respect you and thank you, ladies, for coming. And, this is June. And historically, Gang Talk has been on radio since 2009, and this is actually our first year and a half online. And it's a different kind of forum in that you'll be able to see these shows again. Whereas radio, they went out on the air, that was it. But this you can actually get involved in. You can comment about it. You can call in. It's so much more opportunity involved on this level than we had before. And, if you've been watching the show, you know that Kathy has joined us before. And we were so blessed for her to come because nobody speaks better about this than mothers that have been through it.
Yes.
And a lot of times people can't handle the emotion, so they turn away from it. But turning away doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything. If anything, it hurts us. It hurts us continually. So it's a blessing to have you here to talk to our community about how important it is that we see this as us, see this as we, see this as these are our children, these are our communities,
Yes.
these are where we live, and what do we want for ourselves. So that's why you're here tonight, and I invite any one of you, Kathy, to start.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In the beginning, you're always confused about what to say, but every time I'm invited somewhere or I have something going on, I always drag Barbara with me because our sons was from rival neighborhoods. To this day, they're rival neighborhoods.
They're still.
But we're going to stand together no matter what it look like, no matter what nobody got to say.
Mm-hmm.
She's her family lives close to Nickerson Garden. My family lives close to Jordan Downs. But because of what happened with our sons, we have made a decision that we're going to work together.
Yes.
We're going to come together. We're going to do whatever it is we got to do to stop the violence that, we have endured and try to help somebody else. Because if the moms don't step up, it's in my opinion, I don't think it's going to work if the moms don't step up.
I agree with you.
Well, it's just not only the moms, it's the people that's in the community too. They have to be able to see where they have people that disagree that's able to come together to agree. Like Kathy said, I met Kathy before when I lost my first son. But with me losing my second son, we made a pact that we was going to come together and work together with each other to try to let people see that it's bigger and better than that. Because at the end of the day, guess what? Kathy hurt. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
The next mother is hurt. Yeah. And that's something that we don't want to see that happens to no mother. It's a pain that nobody wants to endure. So if they can see us take a stand, maybe it'll wake up to maybe somebody else can take a stand. And not just the mothers, but just in the community, period.
Right.
I agree with that. I've always believed that the mothers have the power. We have the power. The problem is the pain is so enormous. And it covers so many neighborhoods. It covers all of them, all of our neighborhoods. Yes. We have mothers in pain.
Yes.
And the everlasting hurt for me is we don't see that common connection in ourselves. We've let our children, and I'm not going to correct the mother, but your children are not lost. They were stolen.
Yes.
They were stolen in a nightmare of violence
Yes.
perpetrated against us as a people.
Yes.
So we never say, like Vicky says, I can find my car keys. I lost those. It's not like my house is in foreclosure. I lost that. I can get that back. My son is gone.
Yes.
And he was taken away from me in the most
horrific way.
Horrific, that's the word. Horrific way imaginable. Nobody expects to bury their children. And when they're stolen in this kind of violence that's so instant, it's beyond my capability to understand how you get through it. And all of us really need to be looking at it that way. How do you allow this to happen You know, as you said, Kathy, there's still friction between the communities. And what we as a people don't understand, Watts is really where the black community started. Yes, you are our home. And to see that we're fighting in our origin, it just doesn't make sense to me. And the one thing that's missing is those that are still engaged. They still don't get it.
You know what, Sister Herron, I could say this. We're not here just talking. You know, this is not just to put on a show because we're here with Sister Herron and my brother right here, and this is like something to do. Ha, ha, ha. No. We doing stuff in our community, and we making stuff happen, and people seeing it, and people are responding. We haven't got everybody to get on board. But for the most part, people are getting on board with peace because everybody really wants it.
Yes.
But it take people to, you know, it just take people to step out. And again, I'm sorry that, you know, I had to lose my sons to understand that. So like you said, like Vicky say, don't do this by force. Do it by choice.
Yeah.
When I was in prison, right? So it's a saying in prison that you don't understand what happens until it happens to you. So a lot of, I want to say trauma, a lot of the trauma in our community, I left when I was 17. I didn't get out till I was 34. So I had to learn quickly at a young age, you know. So I said that to say, you know, I didn't understand till it happened to me. You know, so I can never understand how you feel. And I think I just needed to say that part. But it's always a way to get the community as far as the mothers. Because you do, like she said, you have a lot of power. You know, you can actually tell not just the youngsters, but, you know, they daddies, they uncles that's running around there, why you letting him do that?
Yes.
You know, if it come to you, if it come from you, then they gonna be like, wait, she been on our bumper, man. You better stop letting him do that. Make him go to school. Because when I was growing up, you know, I grew up all around Watts. You know, so when I was growing up, it wasn't a lady, you know, of
Somebody saying that.
somebody above me making me go to school. With your mama lived down the street, so you know, I'm gonna make sure you get to that school, and then the next person down the street. You know, so it got to keep on going from house to house. I know it's, you know, it's a lot different than when I left. You know, there was a lot of black people. Now it's not. You know, so I get it. You know, but at the same time, we can't let that deter us from
we got to pull
staying
in
together.
too.
Yeah, we got to come together. You know, as a whole, from every generation and chain,
And
you know,
nationality.
build that bridge. You know, because if we don't, you know, even attempt that, and we steady blaming each generation for what's going on, we just talking.
That's it.
It's just a conversation.
Well, it's time off for talking.
Talking
It
is
takes a
over.
village.
Yeah,
Everybody has power. We just have to use it, and we
Exactly.
can't wait until something happens.
because if it's
it
too,
can't just be, oh, well, it ain't my child.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to do something before it becomes our child.
That's right.
exactly. Because when I was growing up, it wasn't, you know, you better get in the house, the street lights on, your mama calling you.
Everybody could talk to
Yeah.
you. Anybody
You know,
could
you
call
could-
you.
you could get
Nowadays,
whooped. You
it's,
could get a nice little
that's the
whooping
diff-
from
These
that's
young
the difference
children of
in-
today are
in that era from then to now.
Yeah.
Now you have so much that's bigger now.
Right.
You have the kids and the youth that's nowadays that they don't have the respect for their elders
Exactly.
like it was when we were coming
But
up,
that's-
like you said.
Yeah.
You know, those was the things that we did. When the street lights came on, we knew that was time to go in the house.
time to
We
go
didn't
in.
have to have our parent call and say, hey, where you at? Da, 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 da.
Somebody making you go home.
Now it's totally different. Now you got these 10, 11, 12 years old that's out at 10, 11, and 12 o'clock at night, you know, and where's the mothers? Where's the fathers? You know, where's the big homie that was saying, you know, back then, oh man, what you doing out here? You better get in that house.
They all
You know,
locked
it's a
up.
difference.
But you tell them now, they saying, shut up, don't tell me nothing, and this I'm
can't
listen,
talk
you
to
not
me.
my
It's the
mama.
The
and-
parents too, they don't enforce it. It's like, don't
Right.
talk to my kid, don't
No.
say nothing to my
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's where, I mean, like you say, y'all too, you basically drag her with you wherever you go because it's a sign of solidarity. You know, regardless. You know, if I can do it.
Here's the thing with me and Kathy. Like I said, I met Kathy when I lost my first son,
Right.
and which was this month will be 10 years ago. And when this happened to my second son, the first son got killed getting off the Metro bus. The second son, he worked at Cedars-Sinai Hospital.
Right.
So his thing was he would catch the train every morning to work. He would catch the train coming home from work. He would walk through a shopping center and stand there and wait for me. So he didn't have boundaries. He had friends that stayed over in Jordandale. I mean, real friends that when this happened to him, they called me like, you know, we hurt. But he also had friends that was connected to the Bloods. He had friends that was connected to the Crips. It wasn't a boundary with him. You know, so he was just a people person, and everybody he got along with, you know. So my thing was this: if I can come back and help somebody, why not help them in my community?
Right.
You know, why not pick up the phone and say, hey, Kathy, let's do something together.
Right.
Let's figure out ways where we can, because she know people, I know people, you know, and if they can see where we tag teaming together, you got these two mothers that's from over in the Watts area that's trying to push forth some effort and bring some things together to happen to make the kids see, you know what?
It's a better way.
Yes.
We ain't got to hate on each other. I got love for her, just like she got love for me. So if she called me and say, what you doing? And if I'm available, she know I'm going to be right there.
And you know what's crazy? I'm a procrastinator, and when I say last minute, I called each one of these ladies. I called these two today. I called her yesterday. And like, I need you. And it's like
30
they
minutes
never
before.
say no, you know?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yes.
Even when I say no, she don't let me say
Yeah.
no. It's a
But
lot
she
of
knows
And
you
that's
don't
what we
mean it.
need, though.
She knows you don't mean it. She knows you don't mean it.
You know what,
She
Sister Herron? I hope my friend don't mind me bringing Buddha up.
I was just finna say,
I'm gonna
my
give a little
son
bit,
was
so
shot 2 months ago,
it's-
but he didn't lose his life. And that took a lot out of me. Like, I wasn't ready for it, and I was, you know, it's just like a shocking. So now I'm just ready, you know, to try to help, do whatever I can do. He was shot, and
But you actually was helping before it happened.
yeah, I was.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but
But it could happen in the blinking of an eye.
It can.
Well, you know, as Barbara was telling the story, I remember your son on that bus 10 years ago, too. I remember that because we came out
Coming from school.
in mass about that. The baby couldn't even get home from school on the dang bus, and somebody killed him. We were so angry, so angry, and just ashamed of our people that
we killing each other.
we're killing each other and would do it that way. You know, how old was he?
15.
15. That's what I thought.
15.
Did they ever find the shooter?
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
But see, I even look at it with a sad part to that, because the shooter wound up being 16 years old. And now he's sitting in jail for the rest of his life. And like I told them then, and I'll say it now, and I'll continue to say it, we don't know what could have really became out of both of their
Both
lives.
of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the
Greatness.
fact that, you know, Devon was 15. You had Devon at 215, 6'2", at the age of 15 years old. In sports, love to do different things, love to have fun, would light up the room when you come in here. I would never ever know what he would have really, really, truly became,
Right.
because somebody chose.
Just robbed.
To
So
take
young.
his
take a
life.
Yeah, and you know what? The 16-year-old threw his life away.
Yes, yes,
For what?
yes.
For what? What did he gain? And the sad reality for any 16-year-old thinking about walking in those footsteps, what do you expect to gain out of this?
You expect to gain notoriety.
Notoriety.
I mean,
They want.
I mean,
But
that's
you're not-
what you're asking a 16-year-old those words.
I am.
That's what he's going to tell you. He wants to be known. He wants to be
Yes.
relevant. You know,
Known by who? Me?
by his community.
By law enforcement?
No, it's
By,
not.
by the mother
He's
of the
not
victim?
worried about.
He's not worried about none of those people you
law
saying.
enforcement. He's just worried about the folks that
That's
he
right.
hangs around in his
That's it.
community. That's
Now,
it.
how good
They all
are
have
they?
to
They-
prove a
How
point.
good are they to him now?
Right, but
that's the
it's
question.
always
That's the
that
point.
way.
Where
It's
are they at
that
now?
way afterwards. But when you seeking
And that's what we
sort
need
of
to
a
get them to see
yeah,
now.
I mean,
Before that happens, like,
I'm
where
saying
are
that
these
I'm
friends?
saying that from a
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I left when I was
Experience.
17, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm
listening
basically
to you, brother.
I try to tell a lot of folks, you know, when you sit and you try to blame the youth for, you know, the stuff that's going on, and they know it's not their fault, they in rebellion anyway. You know, so when you got a community that's pushing you this way, you got a police force that's pushing you in a box.
Yeah.
You can't go this way, you can't go that way. So they don't know what to do. They doing it amongst themselves. You know, they have their own rules. They're gonna same with when I was growing up. I'm 39. You know, when I was growing up, it was the same way.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Just if you can, put yourself back at 16. And could you tell me or tell us what is it that you would have wanted different for your life? The positive people that could have been in your life or was in your life that you didn't have, that made it to where you wind up getting locked up for all that time.
Well, it wasn't nobody's fault that I went to jail, but you know, my own. I have to take, you know,
No, I mean,
responsibility for it. but
what difference would you say right now
That
at
I
that
am-
age? No, that you would have wanted the help from the community that you didn't get.
well,
What
I
would
went
you
to
say
court.
to us as a mothers? What we could have did?
I would
different?
love to see more. You know, like they got the where you know the family or volunteers or whatnot can go in the courts for the juvenile.
Okay.
You don't see that.
Okay.
You know, you don't. It's a forceful jury. You know, it's the jury is the judge
Yeah.
basically when you go into juvenile court, and then when they telling you, you know, you got to go to adult court.
Okay.
You know, so now from juvenile to adult court, I got to deal with this public pretender telling me what I have to do.
So
I
more
don't
sound
know.
like he's
Actually-
looking for. It should have been more
You have
parent
support.
support.
It should
Yeah.
be more support.
Yeah, because I was
we don't
going to
have that.
say.
That's scary.
Once-
I bet that's scary.
Listen, once you get arrested, once law enforcement gets their
Yeah.
hands on you, that door is locked.
And once they see that nobody's
and really,
there,
what Kathy's asking, what could we have done as a people, as a community, before you got there? Really, isn't that what you want to know?
Both. Before he got there and
Okay.
once he got there.
All right.
well, like I
Well,
said,
yeah, definitely before.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it's more. You know, like I say, if they don't see nobody in the, you know, back there in them stands, you know, everybody knows whose son in jail. You know, who's going to jail, who's going to court. You know, if more people would take away the, you know, he in jail, so he must have did some mentality, then
You
know,
answered the question that I wanted to hear, but like Sister Herron just said, what could we have done before you went to
Before?
jail?
Yeah.
that
I mean,
could
it's-
have made a
it's-
difference in
you.
your life.
It's
What
my
could we
own
have done?
choices. You know,
Absolutely.
it's
No,
not.
I
There it
don't
is.
believe that.
There it is. No,
you have to.
it-
You have to.
it's
you
a
have to
peer
hear me
thing.
I don't
say
believe that.
because
Yeah.
if you understand what I'm saying when I mean that, I have to. Before I go to jail, at the end of the day, I have to make that choice.
You 16, you
It-
12.
It don't matter. That don't make a
Right.
No.
number. There's a lot of kids who's smart, like really.
What
they
about the
know
ones that's
everything.
not?
But I'm saying, when you can't judge from, you can't
Well,
pick them out.
let me
You-
just put
you
a
won't
pin.
know by
Let me
looking
just
at
put
them.
a pin in this, Marcus, because I don't think any of us believe that if somebody came to court, that was going to help you.
I mean, it means
hear
more.
my thought. Hear my thought out. You were already awake.
Right.
You were already mentally separated from us, and at that point, while you was in court, you was just looking for the rescue, not the recovery. And what we needed you to do was be in recovery from what took you from us. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but-
we needed you to be coming into your right mind
Right.
before they got you caught up into the system. Because once they catch you up in the system, it's just to save me.
Yeah.
It's just to save me, Lord, and that's not going to happen.
Like I said, the only thing that I could say was probably missing is more of a presence from the community.
Was it presence, or was it the absence of the community or the weight of your peers? Was it the absence of the community, or was it the weight of your peers that kept you?
I don't think it was the weight of my peers, because back then it was more. I mean, we still had our cousins and stuff like that to hang around. So at the end of the day, you had your family, and then for those whose families are, everything that has to do with a gang or different gangs within, that's all you seen when I was growing up. Maybe Pookie had, George over here, that was his cousin, but they from different hoods away from over here. So that's what you had. You had more of a family sense from, all this different stuff, but different stuff was happening unless you was part of a clique, a specific family clique, or, a specific group of people who hung together. That's all it was. It wasn't even about the gang, in the 90s. It was more of about, who hung with me specifically. And if you didn't hang with me, then you wasn't my homeboy. So that right there is the difference from when I was growing up to now. Now you got more of a, it's more people that hang together just because of the name of their hood. And a lot of these people don't even understand what they fighting for. You might be fighting because, he told me that we don't get along with them, but I don't know nothing about that.
Right.
I ain't even from around here. I might be from Santa Monica. And my mama moved over here, and I got jumped in or beat up, and now they just telling me my enemy is the bounty hunters. So I got to go over there and fight them. If I don't fight them, then they gonna beat me up.
But your family didn't tell you that.
But most of my family,
your family didn't lead
gone.
You into that. When I really want to make that distinction between the family bond and the peer bond. Okay, the peer bond is the friends you hang out with, and you want to be a part of that, and you want to do what they do.
For most of us, that is our family, though.
But that's okay.
So that's all. If we didn't have a family in the house, the streets was our family, and that's all we knew.
But see, there's a distinction between the two.
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
true.
what I'm trying
my era,
to.
so it was something there that was just lacking.
Yeah,
That's what we're trying to. That's what she's trying to bring out.
And it's irking me, y'all, that I can't get y'all to understand what I'm saying, because, like, what is it as a community, as a family member, whatever, police, neighbor, what is it that I could have did in your life at 16 years old
held me accountable
to stop you from doing
nobody
what
held
you
me
was
accountable
doing?
for nothing. I did what I wanted to do.
Because you said something that kind of bothered me.
I made my
because I don't want you to feel like that, like the choices was mine. Everything, no. All those choices wasn't yours.
Upbringing.
Yeah, I don't want you to believe that I don't understand, because my grandmother raised me well, but I still
thank you.
Like, in my house, nothing had to do with nothing if it wasn't respect.
Okay, let me break this all the way down. When I was growing up in my house, my mother was on drugs. My uncles was on drugs. So for me, I think I would have became a better person had my mother been a working woman instead of being on drugs. If all my uncles was working uncles and I could have came to them for advice, I didn't have none of that. That's what I mean when I say what could have been different in my life that would have made me a better person.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it's just like you. My mama worked. You know what I'm saying? My mama worked. My grandmama worked. They made me go to school. I still made that choice to run outside. And I took them whoopings. There was a lot of people that actually was trying to make me do shit. Excuse me, but I actually
you wasn't trying to hear them.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
And this is the point that we're trying to get at as mothers. What lights did we have to get into your head to wake you up? And the answer is there was no light, because that lifestyle and your peer group was more important to you than anything we had to say.
The household didn't even mean nothing. It was more about what went on in the street. I could do what I wanted in the streets. When I came home, I had to do what everybody told me.
Okay.
So
I can understand that part, because I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, and I raised my kids to the best of my ability.
Right.
And they two of them still chose to get out there and do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, one is in the feds right now. One got shot 2 months ago. You know, so they made the choices that they want to make. It's not because of the bad parenting. It wasn't no bad parenting there. They had their mother and their father.
And you know what?
And
Let me
it's
just
like,
say something.
these kids make their choices on their own.
Yeah.
You just clarified a lot of the misconception. Blame it on the mom. I get so
Right.
tired of those people that point their fingers at the mother. Where you failed,
Sister Herron,
you dropped the ball.
some of the
It's
moms
like,
is
ugh.
to blame. Some of the
Some
moms
of them are,
and-
but not all of them.
because you got some of these kids that's in homes that's all they see is their mama smoking and drinking and
Yeah.
daddy beating her up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true
just to
too.
keep it real, and
Yeah.
A
it's
lot
like
of parents don't get involved.
you know, a lot
gotta
of
get in
parents,
your
mamas
kids'
don't work.
business.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah,
know,
and
so-
I say that, mom.
It ain't your room.
It wasn't like my mama had no 5-star job.
So I need
now,
to ask
you
a
know?
young man that question that had a drug
Like
addict mother and stuff
when
like
I got
that.
out, I used to ask a lot of youngsters, like, and even older folks, what would you tell yourself at 17 to do differently that you did at that age? So a lot of people take the time to think about it, but it's a whole host of people who don't.
See, here's my thing where I see the difference is. Because some of us, we grew up in the homes with the grandparents and
Right.
because that was the structure that was there.
Right.
The extended family.
I think the problem that we have nowadays is you have that era that shifted. And you got mothers and fathers that forgot how to be parents
Yes.
because they,
Wasn't
mothers
being
and fathers
parented.
and grandparents and stuff raised them. So they shifted.
Right.
The gear got shifted. And when the gear got shifted, nobody cared anymore.
And right, and then
So when
some of these
people start-
parents, not to cut you off, but some of these parents start having children at a young age,
And that's what
so
I'm
they
saying.
start
So
bringing
they
these
still-
kids up
Yeah.
has
They got the
Like,
same
they was
mentality that I'm
raised
talking
him.
about.
Right,
So
and when they
had their
shifted, what
choice.
they did was they became a part of the product.
Right.
You know what? I'm riding with my son. Even if my son is wrong, I'm riding with my
yeah.
son.
Exactly.
Instead of saying, nope, let me beat his ASS,
Yeah.
put him in his place so he can see. So it shifted. And once that shift happened, then there it go. It just kept going.
Yeah.
And it just kept following over and over and over to where now, who's in control?
right.
Because
So some
now
of
you
these
have
kids
these
run their
kids that's
parents.
disrespecting their mothers now.
Exactly.
Parents
Like,
are
you know,
afraid of their kids.
she just made me think of something else. That she just asked me a question. Like, it's a lot of people who, I know it's cliche for people to go to juries and all that stuff, but you don't see no black people. You know, and if there is, it's the folks that they make go from their job. You know, and they don't even want to be there. So.
Yep.
They trying to figure out a way off the jury.
That's right, baby.
You know, so it's not you won't see it if people continue to say that the white man doing this and that, and we control that. You know, if you able and willing, get on them juries, man. When it comes to them
That's
juveniles and all that stuff, man. I know you don't pick your jury, but you got to be in there because you know they're gonna put you somewhere,
right,
and
baby.
it might be that one 18-year-old who needs you. So if you ain't willing to get on that jury because you don't want to be, you know, said that, you know, you working for.
We got to be like those people in Beverly Hills. They
Yeah.
probably sit at home and wait for the mail
Yeah,
to
they
come,
waiting for
and
that.
they sitting there trying to hurry up and fill that paper
They
out.
trying to
and
get
send
it off the
back.
line
We
so
throw
they
it to
can get in
the
there.
side.
Let me say something about jury duty. It's really not meant for us.
It's not, but
we're
still
meant
in
to be.
court.
We are meant to be in the defendant's seat, not in
Right.
the jury box.
Right.
And the way they eliminate people of color in a criminal case is: have you ever, you or your family, ever had an encounter with law enforcement? How many of us say yes? Oh, my cousin, you're excused.
Yes.
Oh, my neighbor down the street, you're excused.
Yes.
You see, it takes that one little question.
But what about the ones the people of our color that can get up there on
Yeah,
that
and
jury?
they
the
don't.
reason I'm
There's a
saying
lot of them, too.
the reason I'm saying this is because the last time I was on jury duty, and I went, and I was happy to see it was a little young black child. I was glad to see who his attorney was, and it was a gang involved scenario. So I'm thinking, well, I'm the perfect juror. Me. I work both sides of this. I work with the community. I work with law enforcement. That puts me right in the middle. I've got experience. I was the last one they wanted on that jury. And when the prosecutor looked at me, he had such a smug smirk on his face. Oh, Miss Herron, you're excused.
But it's
And it just struck me, well, this is a setup. And when I looked around, all the Hispanic jurors were gone. All the black jurors were gone, including me, and that's how you get an all-white jury. That one question
But that's the
pushed us all
misconception, though.
out. But misconception or
No,
not,
I'm saying
Marcus,
that
I'm
may
just
be
trying
true.
to say this is the way it's stacked
Right.
against us in jury duty in
Yeah.
criminal cases. How do we fight that?
It's like I said, it
a
has
good
to
one,
be
Sister
those who can actually get in there need to stay.
Need to
when
step
you
up.
trying to
Man, I wanted to stay so
they have a position where there can be advocates in the court.
Yeah.
In the court for youth, adults, whatever. And if them judges and DAs see people that's ain't gonna take their mess, so to speak, and you know the word I'm trying to use, but if they see that, they actually will do what they supposed to do. But if it's nobody from our own community
Fighting for
making them do it, fighting, they're gonna continue to treat us as we treat ourselves.
Let me
man. It's
ask
just
it this way. Then would it make better sense if we became court advocates instead of jurors?
Yep. It would probably make more sense if you had that. Like
And
I
we
said,
shouldn't talk so much either. We shouldn't
Yeah.
tell them about cousin Lulu and
That's
and- 'cause
we
they ain't
shouldn't be
gonna-
willing
they
to
ain't-
answer those
yeah,
questions
they not
and say
even gonna
yes.
look
And
way
they
back
not honest
for
to us,
cousin.
so why are we honest to them?
Yeah.
I
You know,
know.
make them do their job.
No,
If
I
they
don't
want-
have nobody in my family went to jail.
Yeah,
No.
nobody
Yes.
never. You know, and you
It
got
wasn't-
half the people.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about jail. Have you ever had an encounter?
Right.
An encounter with law
I'm
enforcement?
just saying now
Okay?
it's a time y'all know I
No.
haven't.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Lie to them just like
That's
they
all
lie
right.
to you.
Okay, that's all right.
Don't say it behind the mic. Say it in the mic. Somebody needs to hear
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Right.
Well, these are the beauty about having these conversations, is to try to answer our own questions, find what we need to do for ourselves. And I'm serious about that jury duty because I hear friends saying all the time, "Oh, I'm going to jury duty." I don't see anybody in this jury room but me. And that's the way it was when I went to jury duty the last time. I sat in there and counted maybe four of us in there waiting to be called to a jury. Now, after my last experience, I made the decision I wasn't going to jury duty anymore and be played with like that. You know, I
Right.
feel like I'm the advocate in the jury box for both sides, and I can handle the truth. And yeah, I'm sorry, I know when a cop is lying. Does that make me a criminal? You know, because look, you act like only defendants lie and cops are just the hand of God, and they're not.
Exactly.
You see, so I felt that I was the one right down the middle in there, and it's like, no, not even you. You see, and well, looked around, that jury booth was all white. Like, well,
That's how they wanted
Well,
it.
you got people that step up to the plate, but then they get burned.
Yeah.
And they feel like, I'm not finna keep coming
not
back
gonna- yeah,
and
exactly.
helping this person, and he don't want to help himself. I helped you the first time, you back again. I helped you the second time, you back again. Like, when do you tell yourself, I'm done with this?
Yeah. When is enough enough?
Jury
is
duty
enough?
doesn't
You know,
work
that's-
like
that's
that.
when it
You
go
don't
back
see
to
the
choices.
same defendant twice. You don't see the same defendant twice. It's always a new person, and when it's a person of color, that's the jury I'd like to be on, to see that they
Right.
get a fair shake, at least, even if they're guilty. Okay, at least have somebody of color in there that can see it in an objective way, and those are the chances we're not being given. That's what has me so annoyed with jury duty. We're not even given the chance to be in the jury. So,
Right.
you know, this is why I want to do the prevention instead of intervening when you're in court, when you're in their custody. It's like now they got control over you, and they're not going to let go until they're done. You see, so what our objective is to catch you before you get caught up.
Right.
That's really what these ladies are here to talk about.
Well,
How do we?
it sounds like it's time for us to figure out how we can get in the court system now
Yeah,
and see how we can help our young men
advocate.
and our young
Well,
women.
I know of a program, you know, I can tell you
Okay.
after, you know.
Perfect.
and
Thank you.
They got a program already, and that's why, because I actually recently learned of it myself. But
Sound
they
good.
actually have a program where you can volunteer. It's a 2-year commitment.
I'm gonna tell y'all that
To
we don't step
volunteer.
up and do what's needed for our people, y'all, our grandkids and our little cousins and all them people. They gonna
No
be
chance.
They don't have no chance.
no
We
chance.
gotta step up. We gotta
don't-
step
they don't.
up.
I mean, because every day is somebody new, is some other family that's sitting in our shoes every day.
Right,
You know,
right.
unfortunately, look what happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 people that lost their lives. That was just yesterday. You know, and it was a third person, but that person, from my understanding, was survived. But you have 2 families that's sitting in our shoes today.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what's the outcome behind
And that's
that?
only 2 that we know about.
What's going
Right.
to be the outcome behind that?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Is it going to
Be more
a
and
war
more.
where somebody else is going
Yes.
to lose their life because Johnny lost his life? You know,
Right.
So it's got to figure it
Sad.
out.
We gotta
It's
figure
a
it
better way.
Yeah.
It's a better way. You know, I want my, fortunately, I don't have no grandkids, but I want my little nieces and nephews to be able to grow up in life and to be able to see things that's so much differently than just have to be wondering, am I next?
Right, because I
You know,
have,
am I going to grow up? You know.
Yeah.
y'all ain't ready for this, but I have 10 grandsons, no granddaughters.
10.
And I have all boys, and I know when they grow up, it's
Yeah.
going to be,
It's gonna be better. It's gonna be greater, friend.
I'm just hoping
It's gonna
that
be
it's
better and
be a
it's gonna be
change.
We got to do it
You
now.
know,
Yeah.
Right.
So they won't have to fight so hard.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because that's the thing, if we don't figure out this now, they won't stand a chance.
Well, first
Right.
of all, we gotta promote peace. We gotta promote positivity.
Yeah.
I mean, this is in my little mind though, and it's
Get
probably
these
just
parents
me.
to,
It's not that hard, y'all.
It's not.
Yeah.
You just got to promote peace. You got to promote love. You got to promote positivity. You cannot go wrong with just those 3
And
little
get these
things right
parents to
there.
stand up to these kids nowadays.
Yeah, that needs
You
to
know?
happen. It can't just be we all get together today and then tomorrow then everybody just break loose and they back doing to what they do.
Right, right.
We got to get together and stay together.
Right.
Consistency. And you know what, too? We have to include our music in that message. You know, our rappers.
That's a whole nother station. That's a whole nother
Show.
Well, we can have another show, and we're trying to get a show on about the music
Man.
because the music plays such a big part in
Yes.
how our young people see themselves.
And they try to live by that
What they
music.
hear.
My 23-year-old son told me today, he said, Mom, the reason why y'all got so many kids is because of the music y'all listened to back when y'all was growing up and your mom and all that music. I think we heard
Marvin Gaye.
we heard BB King.
Yes,
And so he said,
Green and
and the music
Lenny
that they
Kravitz.
listen to,
Yeah.
he said it's so much violence, and and I said, it just felt good to even know he thinking on that level,
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
Yeah,
it's true.
The music does play a part because you hear, boo woo, witch this and woo woo and F you this and da da.
Right.
And
And that's
get
what
that
my
in.
daughter-in-law said. What
That's
kind
all
of
they soaking
oldies
in.
are our children going
Composed
to
to saying
be
what
able to
they
listen
love
to?
you.
What they oldies going to be?
So it's
You know
Ain't
how,
no hand now.
like, yeah, what they oldies
ain't.
going to be?
They ain't.
Catch me riding dirty.
They want
They
it.
oldest gonna be your oldest, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
it is because
They listening
Thank
to
you.
they listening to the Isleys. I listen
Yeah.
to the Isleys too. So
But these
it
young
ain't
kids
never gonna
growing
stop.
up now listening to
How
the
old are you?
Isley.
that
really
music
are
is
oldies.
universal. Yeah.
How
that's-
old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay.
No, to be honest, that is true. Our music, our oldies is their oldies.
Yeah, they
if we
listen to
playing it in, if we
My
playing it
my
around them,
son, now I don't. I'm not a music player. I'm church and all that. But I'll tell you one thing: my son, the one that just recently lost his life. When I hear him playing music, it was the oldies, and I'm looking like
how you know
I would
about
come
that?
outside and say, "Boy, what you know about that?"
What you know about that?
He's talking about, Mama, what you know about that? I said, well, let me tell you, I can give you a story to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is true. Our oldies is their oldies.
Right.
But at the same time, they have this hip-hop rap
Yeah.
They need to get rid of all of them.
that's so much
But
different.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's the just plain rap, right? I mean, they got
You
these
know what
dudes.
rap I'm talking
I
about.
know what rap you talking about. I'm talking about the same stuff, but
They need to get rid
then
of
you
it.
got some of these
But
dudes
we're
that just
hearing this
mumbling.
rap right at home in their own house.
They hear
Some
it
of them.
anyway.
The parents are
Like-
letting them listen to it.
some
Like
of
when
them
I was
do.
growing
That's what the
I'ma
parents
give you
are
a prime
listening to.
example.
Absolutely.
When I was growing up, America's Most Wanted come out, and I got so many whoopings for listening to it, right? So I used to tuck the tape in my pocket, take it to school, and listen to it in my tape player, or get on the bus and listen to ditch school just to listen to my CD, or tape. Back then we didn't have CDs, so I used to do that just so I could listen to it. And then when I came home, I had to hide it in the backyard.
Yeah, to hide it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it came to that point where I couldn't listen to it in the house.
Yeah.
So if more
people
people,
hide it,
right?
These kids don't hide.
But I'm
stuff.
saying they
so
still
upfront and bold
like
and-
for those who say that they don't want their kids listening to that music, don't allow it in your house. That's
Right,
simple.
that's it.
That's simple
I
and plain.
don't.
If you allow them to listen to it inside your house, then that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna listen to it anyway.
Marcus,
But if it
you
starts
just
at home,
said you wasn't allowed to listen to it in your home, but it didn't stop you from
but
listening,
exactly.
did it?
But I'm saying at home,
Come on.
I know
You
all
know what?
that seats.
We
At
can't
least-
look.
At least
we
I
can-
knew
that's
that.
what a
Look,
lot of
let's be
kids gonna
clear
do
about
now.
this. We cannot put that rule on you without giving you reason.
But I mean,
okay?
we know the reason.
No. Do you really?
We know the reason.
Did you really understand
No,
why they didn't want you to listen to it? And then if you did, tell me why you listened to it anyway.
Because I had that choice.
No,
No, seriously, I'm trying to be honest here.
Well, I know you
your
are,
choice.
but what
Yeah, it was my
what was the
choice.
message that they were
That you
telling
wanted to
you
hear
What the
from
that
music
you
was
went
telling
against
you?
the people that told you not to listen to?
Really, I wasn't even, honestly, I didn't care about the message that the music, it was just because, Ice Cube was on it,
Oh.
back then. That's what, in my generation, it wasn't really, only thing that came out that I think everybody in my generation listened to is Self-Destruction. Because they had a whole bunch of people on there that was telling you a whole bunch of stuff that was real.
Positive.
It had a whole lot of positivity from all these rappers from the East Coast, the West Coast, gang, whatever you had, everybody was involved. So when you got that again, where that community is willing to come together, it's not a point of, like, you got a lot of dudes who trying to come up to that point. And to come up to that point, they got to make themselves sound bigger than the last person. So it's a character that they got to build.
Do you know that the music industry got together and set out a plan to promote that, to keep our prisons filled, to keep privatized prisons filled? And we fell into the trap. We sold out to that industry for money. And they weren't going to take good music. They wanted to take the hate music that would put us in prison, put us against each other. That's what they promoted. That's what they promoted.
Okay,
See, so how do we change that mindset?
On that, can I kind of piggyback on that? Like they got you. We've been talking about rappers, right? So you said something about the private prison industry. So Usher, he's a R&B singer, isn't he? So he owns private prisons in California.
I didn't know that.
No.
So he has owned and been a part of private prisons. So, I mean, you can look it up. He might have sold, or all that might be private to this day, but you learn a lot of this stuff while you're in prison. You'll never know it. It'll surprise you. So
He'd
when
rather
you hear
have
that,
his money invested in a
Exactly.
prison than
Exactly.
in a music
So it
studio
comes
in his
from-
own community, teaching young kids how to read notes and how to play
Right.
chords and how to work the electronic board and the mic and all that stuff. He'd rather put his money in a prison than the investment in improving our
That's what
quality
it
of
sound
life.
like.
But
Really?
what else is
Really?
what else is did
That's
he
what it
hear
sound
probably
like.
when he was younger? You need to get up, go do something so you can get out and make, buy mama a house.
He
So
knows
he's
better
doing
now.
everything in his power. He know better now.
Yeah.
But while he's thinking about filling his pockets, he wasn't thinking about, the fact that he's putting people in a oppressive state. He was just thinking about the fact that he's gonna make some money, so y'all could do what y'all want. I just own it.
Matter of fact, come and take this cotton, this cell out.
There you go.
Okay, because
Like,
I'm gonna get paid for you, son.
Like I didn't know they had.
And I get more
had-
money for you being in that
Right.
cell than I would for you being in that classroom.
You get more money for stepping on the bus. It's $300 every time you get on or off. So every pick, it's 173,000. So count them every time they step on and off a bus, and then that's count that side, set that to the side. Then you talk about the meals, that they say they pay for. So you set that to the side. It's billions of dollars in different boxes, and they know how to hide it. And while we talking about one issue, it's like 50 more. So you got all these people trying to tackle one thing. You need more people who are willing to be, an organization doing, tackling different things. Instead of everybody
I want to
trying
send that
focus
public
on one.
message to Usher. Really, since you lead so many young minds, Usher, you really don't you owe it to your fan base to do better by them than that?
But you got,
really,
everything is about his
look,
pockets.
we cannot support hypocrisy.
Exactly.
How can I buy the music and support that music of a man that wants my child to occupy a jail cell that's going to make him more money than that CD?
I won't support him anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
I like I said, I learned that while I was. You learn a lot of stuff in prison.
Oh, I
It's not a bunch of dudes just sitting there doing time. It's a lot of smart people that need to be out here.
I already know.
There's a lot of smart people on the street, but they choose to live this life.
to live the same life.
He's also about to go and do a free charity event for this artist that 22 people just died at her concert. So now they finna go and do a charitable concert. Usher is a part of that.
And that's good. But
I don't
still
take away
need to
from the good that he does, but I mean,
need
when
to know about the other
you
stuff
need to
too.
know about the stuff that
Absolutely.
other
That's
things.
behind,
I mean,
yeah.
but people gonna always put their hands where they know money is gonna circulate, whether it's good or bad.
And that's what clouds our vision, included. And just like
you got people right now doing stuff that's illegal on the sideline, and as long as money is involved,
we're only following what we see.
Absolutely.
So it's not when we blame ourselves for the things that's going on, it's something that's mimicked above us or what we consider to be above us. I don't consider the government having no power over me. I don't say that. I don't own that. I never own that.
Right.
When you give them power, when you sit and say they won't let me, you already have that mindset that you can't do nothing. So you're not going to take yourself to the fullest extent of what you can do because you believe that somebody going to stop you. You have that barrier on your own. You making that, you built that.
Can I say this, Sister Herron? It's just a little shout out to our men that's in prison. Some I know that I speak to on a daily basis. And like you said, they are so brilliant in there because all they got to do is study. And I'm talking smart.
And they hear you.
Young men. And I hope somebody is listening tonight. And we appreciate you guys that's locked up. And we're praying for you. And just keep on fighting and something good is going to happen.
Yes, and come home in your right mind, ready to come back home
and share some of that knowledge.
Yes. Come back to the village, come back to the family, come back to the communities that really didn't want to let you go in the first place.
Well, come back and
we really didn't want to
change things.
Right. Darren Johnson, Tyron Smith.
All y'all, when you get out, you come holler at me. I'll show you the path I took to my positivity is perfect. So,
okay.
if you need to holler,
also,
just get at me.
Those that study law, because a lot of lockup want to know how that happened. Think about becoming a paralegal. We don't have any legal representation down here, and even if you can't get licensed, you can still work and give advice. And then we can take it to the lawyer we have to pay.
Right.
But it creates a place for you that fills a gap. And the one gap we need the most filling is in the legal knowing. Like you said, an advocate in court. We need advocates in court. We need advocates before we go to court. We need advocates for our young people to keep them away from court.
Right.
We don't want them subjected to law enforcement. We don't want them to have a reason for law enforcement to stop them. And that's a sad reality. We can't even control that. You see, and so it really is up to us to find a way to fix these things that are broken among us, and really. Nobody else can do that but us.
And because we're speaking on the prison system, the two young men that I just gave a shout out to, Darren Johnson and Tryon Smith, both fundraisers was set up to raise money for them, an attorney, because they went to jail as teenagers.
Right.
Yeah.
And when that law changed, they qualified. So the money was raised, the lawyers was paid, and then the lawyers kind of bagged out from them
Yeah, see.
and didn't really help them the way they were supposed to.
But that's because they got, not to cut you off, but this is another thing that I think people forget. When they hire lawyers, they just let the lawyer be. The lawyer works for you.
But
He
you in
can't do
jail, so it
nothing.
ain't much you
But
can do.
that's where the folks on the outside is,
And trust
got
me,
it, so.
We did, but once that lawyer tell you, now we still
But
fighting.
you can still,
We still fighting
You
for
know,
him.
you can still, if that lawyer did that, you can actually, the community, whoever, could go file on that ineffective assistance. You can bring that to a court judge.
Okay.
And that judge will investigate himself. He has to, by the 14th Amendment, he has to do that, because if it gets to a higher court, then that judge can be removed. So, just so you know, you can still, there's no such thing as a limit to ineffective assistance to anybody's counsel. That's a 14th Amendment right, so you can do it any time.
Let's add that in, because we only have a few minutes left, and we really want to promote that court advocacy.
Yeah.
We need some organizations or people concerned to really create that advocacy training. Let's build that advocacy the same way we want a civilian review board for LAPD down here in the community. Our community's responsibility is to create that court advocacy program, not wait for them to hand it to us, because they're not going to hand us anything. These are things that we have to generate on our own and push for it.
So what do we do, Sister Herron, for those who listening, if somebody out there who can help what they've heard us talk about, or if they want to be a part of what we're doing, how can we put the word out there for them to contact us, or we contact them?
I wish they would get in touch with us. You know, we have Gang Talk Nation on Facebook,
Yes, ma'am.
and we also have Gang Talk Nation Resource,
Okay.
where folks that are doing community events, you can advertise your event that's happening on that page. That way the whole community can know about it. If you have a service, please list it on that page, especially if it's legal. You know, because these are gaps that we need to fill, and that's the point of that page, to be a gap filler. You got a black business, listed on that page, because Skipp suggested we need to do some cash mobs to some of our businesses. Just come in there, have a day where we just bring our money to that business and spend it with them to help them pay their rent. You see, so these are movements that we're generating,
keep
and
their
that's
business
Keep
going.
it going.
these are good ideas. That court advocacy, shouting out to our friends on lockup, letting them know that we're still connected. All of that is for our benefit.
Yes, ma'am.
So we got 1 minute. Close us out, Kathy.
This has been probably one of the best shows that I have experienced since knowing you, Sister Herron. I appreciate the ladies who came with me.
Yes.
You know, your support means everything to me. It was so nice to see you again and dialogue with you, and I hope that somebody heard something that will help them and know that we are united, whether you like it or not. And if you in the way, you're going to get out the way.
That's right.
Lord, y'all better have chills. I just
Shout
got
out
it.
to my son, Dale Hester's in jail.
That's right.
Well, that's why we call it
We love
family
you, Dale.
business, because it is. It is. It's family business. We're all connected to each other, and it's time for us to start acting like that. Because
Right.
he's my family, you're my family, your children
We
are
all
mine.
family.
Yes. we
And
belong to
also,
each other.
Sister Herron, all the the lifers that just got out. I have a brother who did 36 years. Mo Man just got out. Prentice just got out doing 29 years.
Right.
And they all is on a positive track. And, you know, I just thank God for you guys. So hopefully you listening tonight.
Yes.
Right.
Maybe they'll come share a show with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Well, I'm going to let you hook that up, Kathy.
Yes, ma'am.
You get them together and get them
Yes,
come
ma'am.
tell us what we
Their
need to do.
story.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
their story.
That's what's up.
Right.
Well, thank you, Marcus, for being the co-host this week.
Well, you
Thank
know
you,
I'm
Marcus.
always blessed to do it. So I'm always gonna come when you call me.
Were you going to sing?
No, I mean I'm gonna let Stevie do that. He do it better than me.
Maurice Wyatt?
Maurice White, whoever singing, they gonna do it better than me.
You was at the Mother's Day.
God bless you,
I sure
community
was.
family.
No, that wasn't me. You better
Thank you
stop.
for listening. And Gang Talk will be back next week.
I didn't sing nothing.
No, we didn't.
Let's spin